Namaskar. Today we study growth hormone. As the name suggests, this is the hormone which is involved in growth, metabolism, and it is one of the anterior pituitary hormones. So its secretion from the anterior pituitary is regulated by the hypothalamic factors. Two factors are there. One is growth hormone releasing factor and the other is growth hormone release inhibiting factor. So hypothalamus releases these two factors. Growth hormone releasing factor acts on anterior pituitary to stimulate the growth hormone release, whereas growth hormone release inhibiting factor, which is also known as somatostatin, inhibits the release of growth hormone from anterior pituitary. Now growth hormone acts on the liver, and liver releases a factor called insulin-like growth factor 1, IGF-1, also known as somatomedins. And these somatomedins have actions like, major action is your anabolic actions in peripheral tissues, so growth of peripheral tissues. In the skeletal muscle, it stimulates uptake of amino acids and stimulate protein synthesis. Act on cartilage at the epiphysis of long bones and influence bone growth. So these are the actions of insulin-like growth factor. So ultimately we can say that these actions are mediated by growth hormone. So how this growth hormone acts? The growth hormone receptor is a tyrosine kinase linked receptor which follows your JAK-STAT pathway. So JAK2 and STAT5 are involved. ERK1 or 2 is also involved. So when growth hormone acts on the growth hormone receptor, so there will be dimerization of the growth hormone receptor. JAK2 is phosphorylated, which ultimately phosphorylates your STAT5 or ERK1 or 2. Then this activates your transcription factors. So it regulates the gene transcription and helps in growth, metabolism, and also regulates your cell cycle. The disorders associated with growth hormone there can be either deficiency of growth hormone or there can be excessive production of growth hormone. So when there is deficiency of growth hormone, there can be two conditions. One is pituitary dwarfism. So when there is lack of growth hormone releasing factor, so failure of generation of and activation of insulin-like growth factor 1 occurs, and there will be no growth, which leads to your dwarfism, short height. Then another condition is your Turner syndrome. Again here also short height, short stature associated with chromosomal disorder. Then excessive production of growth hormone leads to either gigantism or acromegaly. In children it is called gigantism, where the height increases due to excessive production of growth hormone. And acromegaly occurs in adults. It may be caused by benign pituitary tumor. So there may be enlargement of facial structures, hand and feet, and there can be after fusion of the long bone epiphysis. So these are the disorders, and accordingly we can treat by using several drugs. Let us discuss them one by one. So there is one analog, growth hormone releasing factor analog called sormorelin, and sormorelin we use for diagnosis of growth hormone secretion, whether growth hormone secretion occurs or not. For that diagnosis we can use sormorelin. Then another analog called massimorelin, which is used in adult growth hormone deficiency. So if there is growth hormone deficiency, we can use massimorelin, which will increase the release of growth hormone. And this diagnosis test will tell us whether this growth hormone is secreted from the anterior pituitary or not. Okay, and if growth hormone is secreted from anterior pituitary is functional. In that case, in case of deficiency of growth hormone, we can use analog of growth hormone releasing factor like masimorelin, which increases or stimulates the anterior pituitary to release growth hormone. Then the growth hormone release inhibiting factor or somatostatin analogs like octreotide, lanoretide, vapriotide, pasireotide, all these can be used in treatment of acromegaly. And as we have already discussed, acromegaly is a condition associated with excessive production of growth hormone. So we can use these drugs, the structural analog of these growth hormone release inhibiting factors, so that there will be less secretion of growth hormone. Then we can use human recombinant insulin like growth factor 1, for example, mecasormin, ACRMIN, mecasormin. This is used for treatment of growth failure in children who lack adequate growth hormone. If there is growth hormone deficiency, then we can use mecasormin, which is an analog of human recombinant insulin like growth factor 1. Then we can use recombinant human growth hormones like somatropin, omnitropin, acretropin, valtropin, teftropin, genotropin, norditropin, and we can use these recombinant human growth hormones in Turner syndrome. As we have already discussed, Turner syndrome, there is short stature associated with chromosomal disorder, and we can use recombinant human growth hormones. And we can also use the recent drug, this is growth hormone receptor antagonist, pegvisomant. This inhibits the action of growth hormone, and this is growth hormone receptor antagonist. So these are all drugs acting to either increase or decrease the release of growth hormone. Thank you.